welcome to the Food That Makes Us, recipes that comfort and connect us. Today I'm drawing inspiration from an amazing Georgian dish called Charkhali, which involves traditionally beetroot and tkemali and plums. So it's this kind of marriage of earthy beetroot and slightly acidic fruit. It really works, and I'm using blackberries today. And actually it's not completely out of context. In Georgia I've tried this incredible savory blackberry soup, and it just really works with beetroot. So I've got beetroot, quite small young ones. I've got my blackberries, which are frozen actually, but we'll thaw them and they'll be delicious. But you can use fresh. You can also use raspberries or plums when they're in season. You can, or even blood oranges, like any fruit that's slightly acidic will work with this. And then I've got a little red onion, and I've got a couple of pink peppercorns as well. So far so pink, this dish, but it'll be super good. And then I've also of course got dill, but you can use other herbs like coriander or tarragon will work really well here. And I've got just a little bit of lettuce to add a bit of freshness and crunch. But actually you could also use radicchio, another pink ingredient, but why not? Just make it all super pink, not a problem. Or chicory or endive, whatever you call it. So either bitter leaves or just a little bit of fresh kind of salad leaf really works amazingly in this recipe. And then I've also got some really good Ukrainian honey, and this blackcurrant vinegar, which is not an essential thing in this recipe at all, but I thought I'll just add a little bit just to intensify those fruit flavors. And then I've got some cider vinegar, which is absolutely fine. But any vinegar that you've got, sherry vinegar, grape vinegar, whatever, you've got wine vinegar, it's all fine. Right, so beetroot. Mine are quite small and young looking. So if I was to roast them, I probably wouldn't even bother to peel these ones. They're organic, they're very young, the skins will be fine. But actually in the past couple of years, I just started boiling my beetroot. I just like the freshness of it. I'm kind of just done with roasted beetroot for a bit. It sometimes it becomes almost too sweet. So I just want it to be a little bit more fresh. And when I mix it with all the blackberry and vinegars and stuff, it will also pickle slightly. Or you can even leave it with the vinegar and the blackcurrants in the fridge for, even a few days until you're ready to eat the salad. And they will pickle properly. And I mean, for me, I love beetroot, don't get me wrong. I really love it. But I feel like if I eat it as the main ingredient, it needs to be almost pickled. Like that's just, I love acidity in it. And that's just how I love it. So all I'm going to do, there's some water in there. I'm just going to drop my beetroots in, skin on. Sorry, Kai, I've just flicked some water at you. And I'm going to add some salt. Generous salt. Skins are on, and once the beetroot is boiled and you cool it down a little bit, it's so easy to just take the skin off with your hands if you want to, or you can keep it on and keep the nutrients, whatever you feel like. So that's it, very simple. Beetroot goes into water, and hopefully they're so young it shouldn't take longer than 40 minutes, but we'll see. I'll tell you how long they take. Okay, so I'm gonna make the dressing / pickling liquid, and you can either make the dressing and mix everything, your beetroot, everything, and just serve it, or as I say, you can actually put it in the fridge and leave it all to pickle and marinate a bit and use it whenever. I mean, there's gonna be enough vinegar for it to hang out in your fridge for a couple of days. So if you do that, just do it straight in a container that you have a lid for, or whatever, a little Tupperware or something. And that's it. So let's see what we're going to do here. So first of all, let's mix the vinegars with some salt. Whenever you make a dressing, do this bit first. It's one of the first things that my old friend Rachel taught me when I worked for her years and years ago for her catering company. It dissolves the salt. Put the vinegar in, put the salt in. If you've got anything else like sugar or honey or whatever, also the acid will dissolve all those things, and then you'll be able to taste the seasoning much easier, you know, before adding the oil or whatever. So I've got my little measuring jug, I've got my nice cider vinegar, and I'm gonna put it in. I reckon for the amount of beetroots and everything, I'm gonna put 100 mils for now. And of course, don't forget that after it's been pickled or marinated or whatever, this liquid can be used for other salads. I mean, it will be full of those flavors of blackberries and beetroot and onion, and it's just going to be delicious. So don't waste it. It's kind of an investment for future salads as well. And then I've got this really nice creme de cassis, like super interesting vinegar. I'm just going to put a little bit in. You don't have to use it. It's just I have it, so I'm going to do it. And then salt. Okay, I mean, so this is a bit of flaky molten salt, and I'm not messing around here. I'm putting quite a big, you saw quite a big kind of amount in. If you imagine all of those, so I've got 6 small beetroots. Once I cut them and mix them with quite a big amount of blackberries as well, they will need to be seasoned properly. So that's it. So quite a lot of salt. I'm gonna mix it, and then I'm gonna get in here into my amazing Ukrainian honey from Sargorigo. Does Natalia, is it sold anywhere? Kai? Oop. It's really tasty. It's from Transcarpathia. If you can get it somewhere, I'm gonna put a link in because it's really worth it. I'm gonna ask Natalia. All right, so we've got the honey, we've got the vinegar, and we've got the salt in. Probably something like a fork or a little whisk would be better to dissolve it all, but I'm just gonna do it with a spoon, it's fine. And then I'm going to, I might need a little fork actually. If you're like a little bit patient, the acid will eventually dissolve this super thick, amazing honey. You can also use sugar, you know, or maple syrup, or like anything, any kind of sweetener that you like. But I think you need just a tiny bit of a balance here. So another thing that you can add here is a little bit of finely grated garlic. Some members of my family can't tolerate raw garlic, so unfortunately I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use this tiny bit of red onion instead. But yeah, you know, you can play around with this dressing, with this pickling liquid, essentially for now, because we're not going to add oil quite yet. I'm just going to give it a little taste. It's strong, but it's, I mean, you could dilute it with a bit of water and easily drink it. It's so delicious. And guess how it's gonna get even tastier? Of course, because I'm gonna add these blackberries, which are still kind of frozen. Yeah, this is fine. They're still frozen a little bit, and when I add this liquid in, they will start thawing and they will start releasing their blackberry juices. So the blackberry juice is going to mix with this, and by the time we are ready with our beetroots, which we're going to slice into thin wedges, we're going to mix it all together, and it's just going to be this heavenly pickling liquid. Okay, so there I am, just gonna casually just put it over a little bit of undissolved honey. Don't worry, it's going to dissolve in a sec. Yeah, there you go. So I'm just going to mix it with these blackberries, and all they need to do now is to wait for the beetroot to come. Okay, so with this little red onion, there is temptation to slice it and put it in with the pickling liquid, because you know you want to temper that spiciness of the onion a bit and to make it milder. But at the same time, if you're going to put the beetroot and the blackberries into the fridge to pickle overnight or over a couple of days, I really don't want this onion to become the lead actor. Yeah, I still want it to be a supporting role rather than, you know, superimposing with its flavor. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put it into the pickling liquid. What I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to slice it, and I'm going to put it into a little bit of icy water, and this way we can just take the edge of it. Okay, so the beetroots are done. They can, you can pierce it easily with the knife. I've cooled them down outside. As always, I just take it out into the cold. At the moment, it takes 2 seconds for them to become cold enough to peel, which I'm gonna do in a second. First of all, I'm gonna disarm this little red onion. So I'm just gonna cut it in half. Oh, it's looking a little bit on the rotten side here. I'm just gonna cut off this side that's looking a little bit, but this side is okay, so I'm just gonna peel it. Again, a little rotten bit, get rid of. And then I'm just going to slice it thinly and stick it into this bowl of icy water to get rid of its harshness. So that's it. I'm just gonna slice it super thinly, lengthways, just like that. It doesn't have to be red, of course. You can use regular spring onion. Shallot would be really nice as well. Just gonna stick it in here, and it's going to become super crisp and less potent. Right, beetroots. Stick the beetroots in here, and I'm gonna cut off this little bit here, just like that, and then look, it's just so easy to get rid of the skins. So just like that. Just gonna wash it in the juice to get rid of the skins properly, just like that. That's it. Do the rest. Okay, so all the beetroots are in here. I'm gonna slice them in a sec. This liquid full of nutrients and little pieces of peel. My wormery outside actually benefits from a little bit of liquid, so I'm just gonna stick it in there, and then it's gonna go back into my earth, and I'll feed my soil. You can do two things with these beetroots. You can slice it into little cubes if you wanted to. If you wanted it to be kind of just really easy to eat, all kind of fitting on a spoon kind of thing, I think it looks nicer if they're in kind of thin little wedges, so that's what I'm gonna do. So cut it lengthways in half, put it on the stable side, and then just slice it into these kind of little wedges like this, something like that, okay? And I think actually my blackberries are so big, they're almost the same size, so it's quite a nice thing. If your beetroot is really big, you can always slice them like this, and then maybe in half again if you wanted to, if you feel like it's a really big piece to eat in one go. So there you go. Now we'll put the beetroot in and give it a little stir.
Smells incredible.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, so we've got our seasoned pickling liquid and all of the blackberries in there. The blackberry juice has been leaching out into all of this vinegar, super delicious. I'm gonna grab my sliced beetroot, and it's still warm. It's not hot, but it's warm, and I feel like maybe it will, it will absorb all of those pickling juices better. So I'm showing you that I'm doing it in this tub just to show you how easy it is to do this, and then to leave it there to pickle for a couple of days. But I'm gonna assemble the salad now because we don't have an extra day to do this. Okay, so there we are. It's just delicious, delicious, delicious. I'm just going to take a little piece of beetroot and a little piece of blackberry and see what the flavor is like. It smells really amazing. It smells so good. I feel like if you've got someone who hates beetroot, they might really like it in this recipe. Oh, it's really good. It's delicious. It's really, really nice. So, the beetroot's got that body and earthiness, and the berry just bursts in your mouth and adds freshness, acidity and sweetness. And just imagine like all of those juices that are in there, you can just put into a little bottle or a little container, keep it in the fridge, and just use it to make other salads, like for the next kind of like week or two. It's a good thing. All right, then I've got my lettuce, which I'm just going to slice lengthways like this. And it's really just to add, this is quite an intense thing that's happening here. You just need to almost water it down in your mouth a little bit. So I feel like having these pieces of lettuce really helps, adds another color. But as I say, why not also just go like full on red and use some really nice radicchio or chicory. But it's up to you. So literally I'm just gonna put it onto the platter. You can use a round plate as well. I just like picked up this one, and just like that. So nice, fresh and neutralizing leaves. I'm gonna take a little bit of dill because I really like it. And you can chop through, or actually, you know what? I'm just going to do fronds. I think that might look a bit nicer, but whatever you like, it's absolutely fine. And also, as I say, just to remind you, different herbs as well. See what you've got in the fridge, or if it's easy for you to get some tarragon, that would be amazing. Equally, some coriander, I think, or even a mixture of all of those herbs. Dill, basil, tarragon would work really, really well together. All right, so I've got my leaves, I've got my dill, I've got my onions, which actually now I'm going to I'm gonna put this on first. So I'm gonna put on the berries and the beetroot. Just like that. It will actually go well with the khachapuri once we make it. Then I'm going to pick up my crispy onions, put them on. Okay, and then I've got unrefined sunflower oil, but you can use olive oil or any nutty oil that you like. That's it, just a little drizzle on top, and well, I think it's really beautiful. It almost can be a little canapé or something. So look, you've got your lettuce or endive or whatever, you've got your beetroot, onion, dill, berries. Sweet. It's delicious. I really hope you try it.